All right, so this is part two of the review. This is where things go slightly less good for the my team, the Slinging Slashers. So it's all good. Woo! So what happened here? Yeah, so it was just a push a little bit far. Wait, let me figure out how to do this. All right. So yeah, the disc is over on the force sideline. Uh, the throw is upline throw aimed farther back line, which makes it a more difficult throw. It's definitely doable. I'm not gonna at all fault the technique on the throw, but with Kevin being poached right here off of me, uh, generally if you see this kind of gap, the ideal pass is to just step around and throw into space. You can cheat as much as you want with that throw, but as long as it's a throw to that space, that gives me an advantage. By throwing up line, it puts it in kind of a 50-50 spot where I gotta kind of attack it like as hard as I can to not get the fear in my eyes, to not get beaten up by Kevin, which he hits me with all 115 pounds of his body mass, which was devastating. No, I mean it was a good effort by Kevin though. I'm just all jokes aside there. So then yeah, I give it to Paul. Paul just dishes it right back to me because Kevin wasn't respecting it, and that's kind of like the flow chart, the handler flow chart, which is a kind of default thing. If you line up 45 degrees back, which I actually hadn't even had time to get fully 45 degrees back, but if you line up 45 degrees back, then you kind of you have two reads from it, or kind of three reads. Number one, if the other handler defender comes back and all right, sorry about that. So yeah, so basically what I was saying is if you line up 45 degree angle back, you got a couple reads. Number one, if the handler defender decides to come up and poach the space, which the last couple of videos I've been making comments on the correct and most importantly demonstrating incorrect way to poach. In this case, Kevin is doing absolutely the correct poach. That's the open space. I drew the bottom line poorly, but Kevin is standing right in that space, so he's actually taking something away right now. So good for Kevin there. The swing back then is the immediate option. Just it centers the disc a little bit better. Just keeps the disc moving, resets the stall count. All things that I like to see. If Kevin, for example, were lining up over here to try to just try to cut me off from the thrower, then all I need to do really is just hard sprint upfield and either get that inline throw there or just clear out. Because with 7 stall, like someone like TJ or Aaron will come around the back and get that pass. So that's what you do there. And if they line up like honest, like right on you, you actually can do either one. If you do a hard fake and a hard sell and a hard sprint, you can kind of do whichever one you want to do, and you should be able to, in theory, do it. And if you're in a matchup where you feel like you can't get separation if they're right on you, in that case, just clear. There's never anything maybe it's not clear that way, but you know what I mean. There's never a problem inherently with clearing. It creates space for the other people. So not to go too long into that. Yeah, and here Kevin's just playing really off me, taking away that first throw, the first look, which that's good. But he doesn't really hold the force, which is fine. That he made an intentional decision to do that. So before he starts setting up a stall count, I'm just gonna reset it. There's no rush. No rush. And then Kevin does the same thing. Do right back. We could do this all day. You know what I mean? Like, there's no reason until they force us to do something else. We're not really gaining or losing yards because we lose yards, we gain them right back. So then, finally we come across here and I decide to throw up lines to palms. So that was good. And then right here, getting off the sideline early is important. And yeah, I think the throw is a little offline there. A good cut by Troy though. Troy started making some good cuts. Yeah, another unfortunate just miscommunication for the thrower thought the handler or the receiver was coming back. The receiver thought she was going to keep going. Not much of a coaching point except don't do it. So we got the disc back. Yeah, the disc is a little bit towards the force sideline, a little more than is comfortable. We see here we got a good handler or a good defensive position here where their defender is on the forced side of Elizabeth here. So that's a good look. So, that way if Elizabeth goes to make a cut, any of these directions, the defender is going to be right there to make a play on it. So that's good. And that's a great position for Paul there, just to get it more center. Because here we can be comfortable in this area of the field. We're not doing anything crazy. Right now, this is something where does that work? Oh, it didn't. Okay, I mean the throw was there, so I don't want to get too hindsight 2020 on this. I made a cut here. He fakes me off, so I change direction here. I come around. If he had the choice here. I definitely don't fault him for making that throw because he had the throw. You know, I'm not gonna hate on him. The throw was there, and drops happen, so I'm not gonna go too big into it. If, for example, he didn't feel comfortable with that throw, I was coming around for a free uncontested reset. I made it way too wide there, but maybe I saw him winding up. I don't even know. But yeah, unfortunate drop. But you know what, Palms? It's okay. It's all good. Yep. So here we got a good mark by Palms. And ideally, we don't let this throw come off. Not a huge deal because it's pretty much backwards, so it's not like a terrible thing. Yeah, I'm not gonna say that was a bad mark by any means. You know, ideally, especially like someone like me or Palms, maybe get held to a little bit of a higher standard on that because we're both very agile. Somebody that's taller and lankier might have a little bit more of a challenge. I'm talking about a play while we're not sitting on it. Somebody that like Palms or myself, we're more agile, so we can shuffle our feet and get around and get back again before we concede anything major. Where someone taller and lankier or bigger or larger might have a little bit harder time doing that. So that might be something to think about. But honestly, it's not a big deal. Like that was no real game. It was just a straight back, so it's gonna happen there. Elizabeth is I'm not sure if it's intentional or not, but she's doing a good job. She's cheating a little bit because there's not much space to work with, and that's the correct play I like to see at a league level. And whoo! I didn't even realize that Kevin was that much on me when that happened. And also, Johnny was like a millimeter from catching that. Let me just put some respect on his name. Look at, oh, I didn't pause that. Yeah, but Johnny almost had that. Like right there, Johnny almost had that. Man's got ups. So all I did here was, if I would have kept running and put myself under the disc and then jumped up for it, with my snorkel apparently, Kevin would have definitely gotten the D over top of me. What I did was I positioned my body to block Kevin out. So Kevin had a choice: either reach over me and negate his height advantage. Granted, he's only like 3 or 4 or 5 inches taller than me, so he really doesn't have a huge height advantage. I'm not going to say, you know, that's not really the thing, but Kevin has a choice to concede some advantage to me or to just murder me by running through me. So I appreciate that he didn't. But it is kind of a thing, you know, any kind of sport with physicality to it, you're going to do that. So if you're ever playing a game and you wonder, like, man, I feel like this guy's playing really physical on me, it might be good to ask yourself, like, but then again, am I playing physical at them and using my own body as a shield to, you know, block them out of the play? And if so, I mean, I'm not going to say they have a right to foul you. They don't. But it's like, you know, if you're going to get upset about it, it's like, yeah, I mean, it happened. It's part of the game. So, you know, even there's some contact here, like, I'm definitely actively putting my body in the way of Kevin right there, which is why I was able to get that despite it being shorter than him. So yeah, it feels good. Got the disc moving right away because Palms during that got open again, so that's good awareness by Palms. Oh, it's very tempting. Last video I called myself out. When the disc is in the air, it is human nature to want to stand and just watch and observe what's happening. The thrower likes to watch and observe to see, like, how can I learn from this throw? Everybody else, so I know how to react, whereas Palms did not do that. Palms started moving right away, and that is absolutely the correct play. Also, shout out to Troy here. Troy definitely was in a position that showed that he was just making an open cut. So that was actually a good cut by Troy, just mistimed because of the turnover and the quick throw. But if Palms weren't there, I probably could have continue to throw it to him. So actually it's probably just an overlapping cut now that I would say that. Again, I didn't like look at this ahead of time or anything like in any major way. So I'm pretty sure, Troy, you made a really great cut there. And you didn't get the disc there just because there was somebody else more open, but I'm going to give you some credit. You did a good cut. So this is one thing that we talked about it on the sideline after I got injured, which is going to, spoiler alert, I'm going to get injured. It was just a muscle sprain, but or a muscle cramp. So when Troy goes to clear here, he clears straight back up the forced sideline, or up the forced space. So his defender then, as a result, stays in that forced space. What I would like to see here for a clear is to clear to the break side to force your defender to follow you break side, and that way it opens up the space. Because I'm about to make a cut here. I'm about to come up this way in what, for what could be a score, except by clearing this way, suddenly your defender comes back, and actually your defender's there to make a play on me if the goes up. So I was, it happens, not a big deal. But that would be the coaching point here. Clear to the break side, and if, for example, that's not my eraser. If, for example, Troy, you made this cut in, but your defender decided to stay in this open space, then you're poached, and you can kind of do whatever you want. You could come right back into the space and get a free catch. You could come around and get a good reset on the stall. You can kind of just cut wherever you want at that point because nobody's guarding you. The key word there is poach, 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 which means no one's doing it. Yeah, so right here, Kevin's far behind me here. Probably, I'm not sure. Kevin's probably recovering from the his momentum shift from the turnover. But now I'm cutting here, and the throw can't go to me anymore because now there's a defender right here that I'm cutting into. Again, so if you had made that cut here and your defender had followed you, there would be green grass, sunshine, and rainbows right here. So it's all good. Forces a hard throw, which is a turnover. I wasn't paying attention. Maybe it would be good to swing it. I don't see any swing cuts. I think I kind of abandoned that post by doing it. I'm going to move my cat and jumped on my desk. All right. Yeah, maybe a reset would have been good there. I'm not sure if there was one, though, so I'm going to let that go. All right, so yeah, here Palms has the right force here, good force. So right here, for Elizabeth, in the most blurry frame possible, if your receiver ever cuts to this space here, and you don't always, you can, but you don't always have to follow her in there. If you wanted, you can actually hang out in this space here and wait for her to come back to you because there's nowhere else to really go. Which maybe you did. I actually can't tell. And then I just didn't get a good step on that, and I wasn't able to make a jump at it. I was just a step behind. I think that play I stumbled. I'm pretty sure they called a zipper in advance, and we're looking at stuff on the sideline. That's fine. All right. So yeah, I'm pretty sure they did a zipper, which all a zipper is, if for people that don't know, it's if you're in a vert, here, the farthest two back cutters are going to make, one's going to cut break side, one's going to cut force side. It doesn't matter which, they could go opposites. And then once that space is cleared from those two moving, so now after that, these two are over here and they're still going, then the third in the stack goes deep. And that's how Kevin got open there. I knew he was going to do it, but I'm pretty sure, I don't remember exactly, I'm pretty sure I was there in position and I recognized it was high in the stall count, so I thought, oh, there's a good chance that it's too late for this throw. So I think I took a step under, and that's when Kevin decided to use his Kevin speed to eat my lunch. It happens. So that's all that happened there. No, I missed. Oh yeah, I forgot about this point. Yeah, so right here, the only thing that happened was one, I put myself too far forward for what was happening. I'm pretty sure I was trying to call him off there. Yeah, you can see my hands were up. I was like, I was trying to call him off, like no, but it's all right because Johnny was running hard on every pull the whole time. Look at surprise on my face. Yeah, so I got it. So that was okay. We got away with one, but definitely something to pay attention to. We don't want to get too greedy. And I say we as if I'm trying to. I shouldn't have gotten quite so greedy. I got too far upfield. Whenever that happens, I need to be better eyes there and put myself in a better position there. Just a little bit farther back. Here I throw to TJ, and here I throw TJ directly into the wall. Fortunately, it doesn't look like he had to jump into it with very much momentum. It looks like he just kind of got a little bump. Maybe, I don't know. TJ can correct me if I made him run harder. Yeah, I came in there and I apologize for it. I'm pretty sure TJ gives me a look like, hey. No, actually, TJ said good throw, and I was like, hey, I'm sorry, I'm trying to put you in the hospital there. Which I wasn't. It's just my bad. That's okay. So, all right, getting set up. So here they're doing their set play, another one. And Kevin or Johnny, if I have your set play wrong and you wanted to correct me in the comments, feel free to. I doubt you would want to correct me if I was wrong, but if it's the same, another one that we ran a pipeline, that's what it is, and I'm 99% sure. So we should be fine. Elizabeth is forcing not correct. So this is the reason why, actually, this is the perfect example of why whenever I call forces, it's common to say force flick or force backhand, which is your right hand flick or your right hand backhand. But I personally hate that because if you have a left-handed thrower, it reverses it. So right here, you can actually see she's doing the, Elizabeth is doing the correct force, forcing right hand flick, but it's a left hand backhand. So you have that. So if you say force flick, it's easy for a beginner to get confused. So anybody that's in a teaching position, I recommend always, always, always force home, force away. This is the home sideline. That's where our stuff is. The away sidelines with the camera. Because even with a lefty, forcing away is forcing away. Here's the away sideline. You're forcing away. You don't have to care about what hand they're throwing with, and it just makes things more consistent. Did I take that away, or did he end up throwing it? Or she ended up throwing it, sorry. I let that get off. Honestly, that was just me. I don't know if maybe I started to turn up, but I should have gotten that block there. That was just me not running there hard enough. And not sure exactly. So right here, Paul has good position. And, I think Paul stumbles right there. So yeah, Paul just stumbled. He was in great position. If he wouldn't have stumbled, he definitely would have had that, because he had a really good position there. So yeah, you want to be, if you're gonna be forcing him like with no deep or that deep leverage, you want to stay with him there. Yeah, whatever. So here we are on the forced sideline, so we want to get off. So I should be making a cut immediately. So all I did here is, this is a bad cut as far as cuts go. But it is a resetting cut. It makes the position slightly better. And I'm pretty sure, I don't remember exactly, but I'm pretty sure I looked up and saw that maybe this TJ was coming open, so I didn't want to do any kind of strike on top of that. I'm pretty sure that was my decision to go around as well. But no, great job getting it off the sideline. The forced sideline is everything that we want. Johnny was just there to eat that. I think that was to Elizabeth. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think that was to Elizabeth, and he just overthrew it. But it's fine. Elizabeth ends up getting a touchdown off that, which is pretty sick. The same kind of movement. So here, force sideline. This is where we want him. Big no round by Paul. Excellent mark by Paul. Was that a foot block? Oh, I didn't even notice that during the point. Yeah, foot block. Oh, he called that a strip? Oh, boo. Not actually boo, but let me see that. Yeah, you know what that might have been? That was definitely a strip. All right, never mind. Boo retracted. All right. What am I doing? All right, trying to skip. Oh, there we go. So right here, just wanted to get some credit here. Elizabeth has good positioning here. She's positioned to take away the most imminent threat, which is that strike cut. You never, ever want to let a handler get a strike cut if you can help it, because that's the most optimal cut for them to make. Forcing the handler to come around. And when that happens, a lot of times it'll give Elizabeth a chance to flatten that angle and actually make up that leverage, which is pretty nice. Yep. So Elizabeth forces it to go back upfield. Right here. Yeah. Palm just wasn't paying attention. So the coaching point here, and this is something when I played with Kevin yelled at me for like 3 years before I finally did this. When you're in especially if you're like an undersized quick person, your focus should be on their hips like all the time, and you steal glances at the disc. And I say the word stealing intentionally, like you steal glances. You're stealing those glances. They're not free glances. They have to be stolen because they can't be given to you. Because when you're looking upfield, I guess, and I understand right here, like, you know, the play's not in yet. But still, right here, like the play's starting, and he takes a moment to recognize what's going on. So now you're in the damage is already done. You know, receiver's hips this way, defender's hips are that way. I mean, that's just rough, and that, it happens. But it was a good defense by Elizabeth to force that up line, and most of the time Palms is there to take away or heavily contest that. And right here, give credit back to Palms. He did the correct play here. His receiver is not an imminent threat, so he runs into this open space to make sure nobody gets cheesed for a quick score. Forces a throw away to the outside, which doesn't happen. And so that's great. Obviously, if you're going to ever poach like that, you have to be ready to immediately go back to your person. I tried. Why? Okay, I understand I'm trying to gain yards, but why, oh why, did I think I had a chance to get in? I'm like 10 yards away. Because now I have to go back and reset my feet. Yeah, that was probably a little bit of a spatial lack of awareness here. Yep, and then right here, Elizabeth does a good job of we're splitting the defenders here. So 2 defenders end up drifting this way. They didn't get there in time, but if I can't find a non-blurry picture of it. But as this happens here, the defender shifts. So this is a good cut. This is the perfect spot for Elizabeth to be going. For the reason being, then, if I have this throw, and if that throw is taken away, I'm looking right back, and I'm either floating it or passing it right to Elizabeth for the score. So that was a lose-lose, and everybody naturally, when they're in panic mode, will get pulled to the forced side of the field. So I let Elizabeth know, like, that was a good job splitting. So I don't know why I'm still not fast forwarding, but that was good, because that put the defense in a no-win situation where either way they were going to lose, which is why this is a very rigged sport. Yep, and again, that's not a terrible thing to have happen. That's not a big deal. Yep, Elizabeth has good active mark, keeps it force side. Right here, we got him pinned back on that force side sideline. There might have been a switch that we just did there. Yeah, TJ goes to take away that first look. That was good. I think, yeah, once again, I'm not going to beat a dead horse over this, but we talked about it before, the last couple videos as well. Excuse me. If we have them on the force side sideline, which we're not actually on the force side, we're probably like 7 or 8 feet away from that force side sideline. But when that happens, we don't really want to poach. And if we're going to poach, we want to poach a threatening space. Whereas, poaching up here when your defender is down here, that you're not really taking anything else away. So we just need to keep that tight. It's possible that Palms and I had a switch, miscommunication on a switch or something, and that happens. While I was talking about that, the reason that we hold a force immediately is because I came in here and then I got too greedy, and you see I drifted over too far to the force side. It's tempting to do, but when that happens, he just gets up and throws a break side throw, which Elizabeth had good defense there. I gave up that throw that should not have been a line drive throw there, so that was me just getting broken, which, we learned from it. But don't give up those break side throws. They're bad. Right there, I was just going up to poach that space because I didn't want to give up any free touchdowns. And I was like, if they're going to get it off the break side sideline, I'm okay with that. They're losing a couple yards. Either way, it's not a comfortable spot for us. Not a big deal. Excuse me. I think there's yeah. Okay, it's fine. Getting off the sideline is cool. Good cut by Troy. Good cut. Yep, cool. Got some open hands. Ooh, and then the catch. That was a monster catch. A concentration, baby. Yeah, and good job getting it right off that sideline as quickly as possible. Only thing that I would change that what Erin did there, everything else she did was outstanding. Right here, after this is done, the force space is going to be here. Right now it's a straight up force, but the force space is going to be here. So when Erin clears out, I would like to see her, even if she's going to make a cut for the handler, make a cut this way. And that way, if your defender were to try to stay in that poached space, you can just come around and get that free around and move it back towards the break side. By cutting straight back under, your defender just can just kind of hang out right here, and it just forms a wall, and it makes things more difficult, which it worked out here. but that's coaching point. So Aaron's coming up here and ooh. Yep, so what Aaron did there was actually a good cut. Now, again, I don't have like a flow, so sometimes if I look at a person, I just keep talking about them for a while. But Aaron has a great cut here where she gets this separation, really good separation between her and her defender. The cut to just swing back around to that fore side for a good deep to mid-range throw is really good. There were some people in that space though, but that was a good cut. Yep, so that was good. Especially for Aaron as she's running upfield this way. Once the second you get that separation, so I'm actually gonna rewind just a little bit just to show you. I'm not gonna rewind with my draw app things up. Right here, the best place to start a cut, a meaningful cut, is 10 to 15 yards out, because then you have the option of coming under deep. Right here, because of the wall, this is kind of your decision point. When you have this separation, you can either bend it to the break side or bend it to the force side, and those those are going to be two very easy completion kind of scores for big gains. Seeing your cuts, especially through the last couple games, Aaron, you're going to get open like this a lot. So if you know your defender's behind you, just bending it right around, because the basically you don't throw to a receiver, you throw to space. Which I mean, maybe I can wait until I can get a better view. But for that break side space, it's back here. All you're doing is just you're putting yourself in a position, and then Palms would throw it to that space, and you just go get it. So that was the correct one. Yep, like that. That was really good. You could bend it a little earlier if you wanted. I think that's why the throw didn't go up in time. We just don't have that chemistry yet for us to anticipate it quite as easy. But that's definitely the look that we want. Once again, Aaron makes a really good cut here. The only reason it didn't go up is because Palms beat his defender so hard that the defender is actually clogging that space. But yeah, that's a completely open cut. So that's great. And good patience by Palms here. You just want to keep it nice and cool. And Aaron makes a good around cut to reset that stall count, which is exactly what we want. So yeah, this point was all about Aaron making opportunities for the rest of the team. So, good job. All right, we decided to talk for like a full minute there. All right, so we got them towards the sideline. I think there might have been a miscommunication. Like I think Paul and I were talking to each other, and I wasn't sure if Paul wanted me to do anything for him. I think that's why I conceded that, which is okay. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, what happened there was this is kind of the thing where people that poach are tempted to do this. The thing that Paul did not do. Yeah, it's tempting to go under and try to make an aggressive play on the disc here, but it's actually kind of a dangerous play if a receiver is cutting upfield while looking back for the disc. It actually is pretty dangerous to be making a cut into that space because they're running kind of blind. It doesn't mean you can't make a play, but when you come around, you have to give that receiver right of way. And with a little time he had to react, and at the time of the throw, Paul doesn't know whether the cut's going to the under or if the idea was for it to be an over to the deep. Paul just has to respect the deep. So that was the correct play for every reason there. I think Paul can clamp down more here. Yeah, so right here, Paul did a good job at first of falling off. As this happens here, Paul falls off, seeing that there's an opening here. He takes that look away. At this instant, he needs to be looking to get back as quickly as humanly possible. But that's okay. We were just trying to figure out who's guarding who. So yeah, good. Yeah, it didn't work out, but that's okay. I mean, they're a good team. Good teams. Good players make good plays. It just kind of happens. I don't think we did anything like do true fundamentals, anything to like do that other than turn over the disc when. So right there, I just wanted it off the sideline quickly. which, okay, so I threw it to Paul here. Probably shouldn't have thrown it, but if Paul had kept running, it would have been okay. But Kevin's fast, and I know Kevin can do this, so I really shouldn't have. I could have thrown it to Aaron. I just saw that there was a bigger gain, and I should have known that Kevin was going to be there. So it's probably more on me to just have taken the more under. If it would have been somebody other than Kevin, I would have been very comfortable throwing that. It's just Kevin's Kevin, and then that kind of gives up the point. That's kind of a me problem. So I will own that one. Coaching point. If you're going to throw to somebody off that first one, it's going to be a greedy throw. Make sure that the defender isn't a greedy defender, because they will they'll get you for that. And right here, again, these turnovers are what killed. Like that turnover I threw, and then this miscommunication between TJ and myself. These are the kind of things that blow games open, and it's kind of it happens. But so basically right here, it was high in the stall count at this point, so I thought TJ would just wanted to throw it to me, and it was poached anyway, so I was like, yeah, just take the poach. Don't worry about anything because it's high stall count. TJ thought I was going to keep going for a more aggressive push-up field, and as a result, I just can't get there in time. Like, I think my fingertips brushed it, but it wasn't enough. Yeah, my fingertips brushed it. It just wasn't enough to make it happen, because I was putting on the brakes, because I was like, oh, just take the free, and then I was like, oh, I wasn't ready for it, and then I was just like, rip. So I think legally the count is a drop. It was kind of like a 50-50 share between us. I mean, I should have caught it because it touched my hands, but also we should have just been on the same page. And then right there, this is kind of the same thing we were talking. Oops, I went too far back. This is the same thing we were talking about before, when a receiver is going upfield, and you barrel down on them. That is a dangerous play then that we try to avoid. Which, obviously Palms didn't mean it. Palms didn't. I'm not sure if Palms even saw the defender there when he made that cut, because you could actually see Palms' eyes are on the disc the entire time. I think Palms might have even been surprised to see him there. But he's coming back. He's going upfield and he's looking back. That puts him in a vulnerable position. So any defenders coming over the top, or other receivers coming over the top, have to be giving them right of way and not just smack into him. And I'm pretty sure Palms was confused and didn't think he was going to be there. And then there's a dangerous call play, which it's the correct play. Obviously, very clear from it that that was unintentional. So, but nothing heated really happened because of it. It was just, they explained it. It was a contest. It went back. No big deal. Ooh, rare drop by Johnny. So it's all good though. I mean, we're not playing for money or anything, so it doesn't really matter. Great cut by Aaron right there. Probably could have gotten that throw to Aaron right there. Let me back up so we're gonna see what happened there. So Aaron comes in here. I'm not even sure. Is there a stall at this point? If there's not a stall, then maybe you don't throw it. But just keeping the disc moving, especially back in the end zone, we know things are going to get clamped. Probably throwing to Aaron was the correct play there. Obviously, it's all coulda, woulda, shoulda, but that's the correct play, and I'm pretty sure they just kind of score here. So yeah, they just kind of score for me. Yeah, it's all good. Oh, and that elbow spike. All right, dang, styling on us. All right, so right here, then, this is the thing where, as handlers, we can talk about in advance. This is one of the parts where we're not on the same page. As far as, like, what we want me to do as a handler here, give him a couple seconds to look up field, or should I make a more immediate play? Just something we need to talk about a little bit more. This worked out just fine, though. That was good. I think this is kind of stemming back to the kind of thing where I think Paul just needs to be a little bit more confident. He's a better deep receiver than he thinks he is. He holsters that jump. I think he should have jumped right there. Yeah, Paul, you're better than you think you are. Go up there and make a play on that disc, man. You put yourself in the right position. I think you were just nervous. You're like, I'm not sure if I can get it. You can get it. That was yours to catch. So yeah, have more confidence next game. I think you'll surprise yourself on what you are able to accomplish. That was an aggressive mark by Aaron. Did not concede any rounds, so we're gonna say it was a great mark. And this is a perfect example of this is totally okay for Palms to give up. It's a throw to the break side, but it's super high. It hangs in the air forever. So it gave TJ time to make it up. I mean, he wasn't able to in that case, probably because he was just a little too greedy, but that's the play that we want to look at. So, nothing wrong with that play happening. I'm trying to see what Paul could have done better there. I think as you approach the disc, if you approach with a little bit more momentum, you can kind of get a little bit more of a jump off of that. But yeah, and then the other thing, you come at it, yeah, get up there, and instead of bringing your arm away from the direction of the disc, what I like to see is turn your hips, get your left arm up, and then curve into the disc, so that even if you don't catch it and you collide with the disc with your hand, you're knocking it away from the thrower and making it much more difficult to complete. Otherwise, I mean, Johnny's got ups, so I don't want to say anything crazy. That was a good throw, good catch. But yeah, so basically the big differences in these games are just our communication. We're just giving some like turnovers where they're kind of just like, just don't do it, turnover. Like right there, it's like if we're gonna lead a receiver into the wall, I mean it's gonna be a turnover, which, I mean we learned from it, but I don't even know if there's a different cut we could be doing. Yeah, so TJ goes up line. At that moment, we needed somebody like, I think it is me, myself, or Troy, or Elizabeth to be coming around. Elizabeth is generally in the cutter set, so like, and so is Troy, so it probably should be me being ready for that. But it's okay. Yep, so right here, Troy's out of position here. I don't remember exactly how, but the receiver's here and Troy's here. So Troy is on the break side. So the mark is here, which means the forced space is here and the break space is over here. So when this receiver is making a cut into that open space, ideally we have our defender here ready to be taking that away preemptively. Got the holster there, probably because he ran out of space. A little bit scary. I think also right here, yeah, there's a little bit of a step away back to the break side. If you're in a dead stop here, this is a good coaching point. If you're in a dead stop and the receivers right here, go ahead and just stand like right here on them. Don't give them that. If they're gonna come across and they're gonna throw some like super high hammer over here, so be it. I can live with that, because if they do that, I can come help. Palms is going to be there to help. We have people there to help you. If your receiver goes, if I can form buttons, if your receiver goes this way, you're on an island, so you don't want to be a step behind right there. Oh, oops. There we go. That's what I did wrong. Yeah, so I mean, the throw was offline. I think he might have been high in the stall count. I'm not going back and counting because it's too much work, but it's okay. But yeah, so that's been the only real difference in this game, and those are very fixable issues that we're seeing right here. Just cleaning some stuff up. Which, to be fair, Kevin's team, they were running hard, they were working hard, and they were forcing us to do scary things. And like right there, oh, that was so close. Really, really great cut by Troy here. Troy's here. Receiver's hips were this way, and Troy's were this way. Get going. Once you got that separation and the throws up, it's all yours. Yep, and TJ and I disagree on this, so I will not state this as a fact, but the catching pancake over your head is difficult. If it were me, I would say just get your hands up and just kind of catch it instead of trying to like get your hands on top of it and below it here, because it makes it, in my opinion, I don't know, maybe I'm just a freak. Maybe I just catch it like that because I'm weird, but I think it's an easier catch the other way. But oh well. Moral story, it didn't work out. It's okay. You're gonna get it next time. You made a couple other good cuts like that too, and we needed to make up space there, or make up some points there in a quick amount of time. So it was a good throw. It was a good cut. Totally fine if that happens. Feels bad, man, but that's life. So right here, that play right there was actually an example of, in my opinion, handling a poach correctly. Last video, I commented on myself doing it wrong. I think I mentioned Palms doing it wrong at one point this video. This is a case where I like this look. So right now, the force is this way. So the open space is all of this. This is all open space. And the break side is like this little narrow area here. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to come all the way into this open space and take it all away. So now the open space is like nothing. And I'm going to concede this throw. I'm 100% forcing this throw to happen. So when I come up field then, I'll show you it after I come up field, I drift right up field. And I know for a fact that this throw is going to happen. I mean, this is like the only play that you have right now. So, but by me taking this away, they don't have any first looks that were happening behind me. And you can see that even as she's winding up, I'm full committing. I'm going to get right back on him and set that mark immediately. And when this happens, and this is a force side throw going up, so I'm going to let that go. The position here, it used to be right here where the force side was, or the force space was all of this. And now the disc is here and the force space is only this. So I basically made it so our defenders downfield have a third less of the field to worry about. And that's pretty huge. So that's something I really like. And it moves the disc towards the force side without conceding many, if any, yards upfield. They get up, yeah, so then they get up here. TJ is right on it. That's exactly what I like to see. So that I was happy with that poach there. I think there was we were communicating with each other about who's guarding who, and that just led to that miscommunication. And then Palms getting in there. That throw probably shouldn't have come up, but yeah, good job by Palms getting in there. Also good job by Troy adjusting and recovering after that. Yep, so then basically what happened here was I probably didn't go quite as far. So I was making a strike cut here. And this is kind of the thing where you make a strike cut, and if there's a decision point where if that strike cut's not happening, you come back on that same line so that he can throw it around to you. And by doing so, then you're forcing this defender to stay with you as hard as he can. I probably put on the brakes slightly too early, but and then I cut too far around. But at the same time, by doing so, it was wide open for TJ. But I probably could have gone a little bit farther before stopping that. And another great cut by Troy. The throw is just a little bit too far, but that cut is exactly what we want. If he's gonna let you get behind him, and you're the last person back, I mean, go for it. That's definitely true for you, Troy. That's true for you, Elizabeth. That's true for you, Aaron. I trust all three of you. If you see Greenfield, Sunshines, and Rainbows behind you, I mean, just get in there. You know, it's great. Yeah, so right here, I'm just kind of helping with the force around, but nothing really noteworthy. Not sure what happened there. I should have stayed on Kevin right there. Yeah, that was my fault. That should have been a score. I should have given that up. I think as I came up here, I lost my guy. TJ rolls into him. I turn around. I'm like, oh, well, then who's your guy? And then I look, and I'm like, oh, there's Kevin. So I probably should have just stayed tighter on my guy anyway, and that would have just fixed all of the problems. So that's going to be the coaching point. Don't be lazy on defense, Mark. I think right about now, I'm pretty sure my leg was seizing up, but I'm pretty sure that's why I was being lazy. Because I'm pretty sure in like a minute, I call an injury and I'm done for the rest of the game. Oh, and okay, I don't want to talk about this, but I throw this pass. I thought, go back. They're not gonna show it. Okay, so when this guy was here, for some reason, my stupid brain, I thought he was standing on the sideline for some dumb reason. So I think I saw Palms to the side. For some reason, my brain's like, oh yeah, he's one of the guys helping with the clock on the sideline. So I just threw it. And then I was like, what the heck? Why are you doing that? I was like, oh, he's on the field. I'm just an idiot. I should have actually looked up field. So that I'll own that one completely for being a dum-dum. So don't be a dum-dum, Mark. Lesson learned. Yeah, again, it happens. Especially once fatigue starts setting in, decisions get worse and worse. Great throw to get it off the sideline there. I should have thrown it to Troy right there. I honestly don't know why I didn't throw it to Troy. I think Yeah, I don't know why I didn't throw it to Troy. I should have thrown it to Troy. Troy, that was the correct cut. That was all you. I should have just stepped and threw it. That's all me. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe my leg was affecting my decision making. Maybe I just need to have better decision making. But that was my decision making that did that. Palms is open there. Yeah, it's slightly too much on it. But his handler's just a little more touch. So I guess, yeah, we're flying through it now, but there's not too much to really talk about as far as that goes. Yeah, I mean, a lot of that's just base decision making, and I think fatigue might be a factor as far as that. Who's to say? So I'm with Kevin. I think I just slip and fall. Yeah, I just slipped and fell. That feels bad. That happens. Yeah. Yeah, I was there. I liked my position. I was in a dangerous spot, but I just slipped. Yeah, I told him, hey, you like that D I gave you? Because I gave him a D. But yeah, don't slip and fall, Mark. But at this point, I think a lot of the reasons our decision makings were getting weird too is because we were trying to like win this game still, and we were trying to say like, let's make something cool happen. Great cut by Elizabeth there to get open. Oh, getting back and catch. I thought she just didn't catch it at first, and then 2 in a row, and then I'm calling an injury. I started calling injury because my leg was just done moving, and we're still playing, but I'm like, injury. So I had an injury. I was done. My leg was done moving. Feels bad, but whatever. So then Erin comes on, and Erin decides that she's going to put the team on her back right now. I remember Erin just being a handler force to be reckoned with right here after this. Yep, so the cut comes in, and the reason that Erin wasn't open there was because TJ's defender decided to poach that space, which gave us that free round. So that was good teamwork there to get open there. Yep, great cut, great cut by Erin, making that break side cut and just getting a good completion there. Good catch, good throw. Yeah, this is all great. You got palms, perfect. Yep, just keep the disc moving. Yeah, you two got double teamed for a second there, totally fine. Erin comes right back around for that reset. Don't let the stall get high. Yeah, exactly. Just keep the disc moving. And the other thing, the reason that I love this throw by Erin is because a lot of beginners, they'll say to themselves, I'm not getting marked. I can just sit here. When in reality, the defense is in chaos right now. Their defense is in chaos because they're trying to look upfield and figure out, all right, where's the disc at? So I know how to react. But the problem is when they're looking at the disc, they're not looking at the people they're responsible for guarding. So then it just gives wide open everything. So by just looking upfield, giving TJ a chance, immediately swinging it, now suddenly people need to look back upfield again and say, okay, now where's the disc? The disc is in a different spot than I was expecting. The throw is offline here, but that was the correct look because, yeah, Kevin just didn't know where the disc was, so Kevin didn't know that this was a threat, you know. And I mean, it's not even his fault. I mean, again, this game is rigged, but it's like the fact that this disc kept moving meant that, you know, Kevin just had no way of really knowing that was going to be the space. I appreciate the dive. That's what it represents. But yeah, the throw is offline. But other than that, everything that happened at that point, we stick that in a can and bring it up next week. We're gonna win next week, or technically next game. Depends when you're watching. This could be me winning tomorrow, depending. You're watching tomorrow, and then that's just Johnny being Johnny. Johnny, will you stop that? Make our team feel bad. Just kidding. That looks sick though. Man's got ups. I don't even know if there's a coaching point there other than get taller. Yeah, I don't even think you had a chance to. He's so tall. Look at that vert, dude. I don't know. Whatever. Good job, Johnny. And then there's a lot to learn from these points here as far as what happens. So we get the disc here, and TJ's getting his beers. They said I think Scott told him that every touchdown he scored with the jacket and the sweater on, he would give him a beer. So there may or may not have been some collusion that went into conceding some free points. Great assist, and that was a great cut. Unfortunately, the camera did not show it very well. But yeah, Elizabeth kept moving. So basically what happened was Elizabeth off camera here was making a cut. Why is this minimized? All right. Making a cut this way, and then her defender just arced it under. And instead of like doing anything, she just kept going and it just opened it wide up. It was just perfect. So that was a really good cut. Just staying with it, staying confident and not slowing up. And that's something, don't feel bad about it, Elizabeth. I do it too. Sometimes I'll read the space in a jog, and then after I decide what I'm doing, go into a sprint when I need to read the space while sprinting. Same thing when the disc is in the air, you need to read the disc while sprinting. You can't jog until you think you know where the disc is and then sprint. You need to be sprinting the whole time. So that's all. And again, I do the exact same thing. And right here, they're going, and the disc is up, and oh, I thought this is the point. Yep. So yeah, sorry, I thought they were screwing around. I know there is some screwing around that goes on. Yeah, good job cutting that off. Forcing a high throw over to the break side. Oh, that worked out, but that was a very low percentage throw. So as a defense, again, we want that to happen. As far as like that goes, that's just unfortunate. And then there was a bad pull. You know, I don't know what happened there. You know, obviously there was no collusion into this. This was a fair, square deal. But yeah, right here, the pull goes up and it just slips right out of his hand. Unfortunate. You hate to see it. Just kidding. They're doing this on purpose. Scott didn't think they would do this. Well, Scott, this is a little lesson. Welcome to the real world. This is how it works in the free market, baby. Look at that. Oh, look at that plant. Look at that power plant. Boom. Jacket flaring. Got it. Yeah, and it was a good game. So that's all. Overall, I think definitely both teams. I mean, we played well. Our lack of experience in the handle set showed and ended up costing us. Kevin's team is basically all handlers and then Johnny, if I'm not mistaken. So and I stopped on a very fun frame. Stop somewhere else. But yeah. So thanks for watching. If there's anything specific you would like me to focus on in future videos, shoot me a DM and like group me or in the comments below. In future videos, I want to do it. For example, if you were just saying, hey, I'm being a cutter, I'm having trouble on defense, or I want to get into handling, or I'm still having trouble seeing the force, definitely let me know. And in future videos, I can focus on those a little more. Because right now, I mean it, I'm not really coming in with a plan. I'm just kind of seeing things, reacting to things. So if there is anything you want, please don't be shy. I would be happy to elaborate a little bit more. And if anything that I say here you disagree with, please let me know in the comments as well. I'm not pretending that I'm some guru or like I'm a genius. So like, there are definitely some things that are controversial when it comes to my catching preferences, but I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, leave it at that. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.